Hey everybody, this is Justin, your guide into the other side. Today I want to have a discussion about Tier 1 environments and what the meta is going to be at that particular environment, right? So I'm going to first off by saying this is just a gameplay analysis video. This is not necessarily financial advice. I can't necessarily tell you whether the price is going up or down per the land, anything like that. So with that out of the way, let's just jump right in. So I know in my previous videos I covered tier 2 and tier 3. Those are just kind of that entry level, kind of efficiency, farming, fighting, just that nice way for people to kind of get involved in Otherside, have a hand in every part of the game, right? Tier 4, tier 5, probably those more premium entry level points for people who are, doing high bandwidth farming, anything related to resources, or even maybe even playing with a lot of codas or coda maras at that level, right? But I do want to touch on tier 1 specialized solo building with maxed out codas. So I personally believe that with the way that the game is set up, right? Codas don't necessarily have to nest, and that gives them a distinct advantage that they're able to, rack up, leaderboard rewards by fighting the Shattered immediately, right? So I'm actually going to jump over to the leaderboard, the Yuga Gaming blog here, and just kind of reference that. With Maras, you do have that. I mean, if you don't have a coda, you're at a disadvantage when it comes to playing the leaderboard. So just because of the time that it takes to nest the Maras. But again, Coda's having that advantage kind of makes sense because they're like 4 ETH right now. So again, they skip the nesting process and are already game ready for Legends of the Mara. And they are more powerful than Coda Maras, right? So in right off the bat in season 1, the creation season, per the blog, Codas are going to be at the top of the leaderboard, right? So if you're looking to play at that particular level, if you're looking to play at that particular leaderboard status and reap the rewards of playing at that level, then by all means, playing tier 1 is probably beneficial to you. So we're going to go actually take a look at what the particular rewards can be, and if you're looking to get involved in that particular playstyle. So we're actually going to scroll down to, I think the portion where it's a portion of this video where we have, oh gosh, I'm totally butchering this, but whatever. Not a big deal. I want to talk about the leaderboard. So this is really important, because there's a global leaderboard listing per environment tier. So I know I've covered this a lot of times, but it's important to reiterate. The leaderboard will track the damage dealt by each Voyager's team, and in the case of tier 1, it is just one coda to take down a Shattered, right? So the race to defeat a Shattered as fast as possible will be tracked, obviously with damage points, with a collection of treasures or other items going to each season's top contender per environment tier, right? So per this alpha gameplay, we have the leaderboard like right here, and that's probably going to be a section leaderboard. So there's going to be a leaderboard for tier 1 environments. There's a tier 2, and so on and so forth. And each of them will have damage, damage rankings, right? So again, with regards to the rewards, the resources, everything, to play at that high level, right? We kind of have to understand, hey, what are those going to be, right? That part of gameplay where it's farming, we know what farming is going to yield. It's going to yield sediment, and it's going to yield resources, right? And those resources, are going to be used for crafting, in the Agora, all that stuff, level up, build, craft stuff, armor, blah, 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 useful for later game stuff. Sediment fragments are obviously critical for evolving Maras into Coda Maras. So that makes sense. But the thing that we don't necessarily have too much information on is what the Shatter leave behind upon defeat. We only have, let me actually scroll down. So we actually have, so we do have a little bit of information, but not necessarily everything, right? So when a Shattered is defeated, Voyagers will be rewarded with treasures called Unearthed Artifacts, right? So some Unearthed Artifacts will be consistent across all leaderboard tiers. Each tier has a limited supply of Unearthed Artifacts, which means there will be exclusive rewards for Voyagers who slay Shattered expeditiously, right? So it makes sense that unearthed artifacts increase in rarity at the higher you go in the leaderboard, right? So additionally, some of these treasures will be utilized to enhance a Voyager's gameplay. Some will also aid the friends, so that's also another thing you want to keep in mind. The allies, the battle alliances that you can take with regards to playing towards leaderboard rewards. If you have partner NFTs like World of Women, Meebits, Forgotten Runes, pardon not forgetting a couple off the top of my head. There's a bunch, but it's going to be important to take advantage of that as well, right? So, in addition to unearthed artifacts, right? I personally think there are 3 things that can drop when you fight Shattered, right? In increasing rarity. I would say maybe there's a game loop that allows players to get resources as a drop when you fight Shattered, maybe as a standard drop, but that's speculation on my point. But I personally think it's 3 things. I think it's resources. I think it's seasonal catalysts, because there was no other area that the blog mentioned anything related to like seasonal catalysts being dropped in that game loop. But I think that's where it's coming from, because they mentioned hybrid catalysts when you look at the Legends of the Mara page. And then, the one thing that they did disclose here was unearthed artifacts. That is going to be a drop in terms of increasing rarity. So to recap that, it's resources, speculatively, catalysts in each of the 4 seasons flavors, speculatively, and then for sure we know our unearthed artifacts, right? So again, this kind of build is for tier 1 builds, are for people who are looking to play at that top leaderboard position, right? So you're going to need a coda, you're going to need a to play at this level, you're going to need a tier 1 land, and you're just kind of looking to min-max the build, right? So, that optionally comes with an enchanter, or it also comes with, an ally, to aid with the friends, right? So to kind of also talk about the other benefits of having a coda, we also saw with Rec League, if you actually own a coda before the snapshot, you do get the benefits of like, a free founders box. So, and I'm getting off topic, but if you decide to go this route, there are probably going to be benefits with regards to, having airdrops and other universes and stuff like that. But, if we actually take a look, I like to reference this thread by Harry Liu. But I kind of tweeted it. I was like, hey, one of the most bullish things I've seen about Yuga is their partners building in other genres, right? So seeing bases, codas, wizards, and other collections made out of the universes is like, that's awesome. Like, that's the easiest piece of marketing of all time, right? Because it's just like, oh wow, you're gonna have a coda here or there, stuff like that. And I'm kind of I know I'm kind of going off topic right here, but I would keep an eye out if you do decide to if you do have a coda. I know we got that Rec League, free mint, but I would keep an eye out for like all the other universes that may drop, that may or may not drop a universe here or there. So keep an eye out for that. But I do want to get back to the build as a whole. So in order to build something like this, I would immediately go to Otherside Wiki, mainly because it has a pretty good spread of everything related to codas and stuff like that. So, if you're looking to min-max, I'm not gonna try to min-max to the very maximum, because you can spend up to 50 ETH. You can blow your entire life savings if you would so choose. I wouldn't recommend that. That's not financial advice. But if you can actually just find one, on the floor, by all means, you can at least have a good chance at getting onto the leaderboard, because at the very beginning of seasons, it's the of a new game, it's where it's most equal. Maybe that's not necessarily from a fiscal perspective, but it is the most, I guess, knowledge equalized playing field. So you can necessarily prep for it, but you can actually find a pretty good. I guess you can pick up a floor coda. If you decide to go with a weapon, it's immediately going to jump it to like 5 ETH. So, that's probably, it gets expensive real quick, right? You can kind of see there's like 5, 6, and then it goes up to 7 ETH pretty quickly, goes up to 10. So if you're looking to play at that super, super Giga Max build Coda, by all means, go whole ham. But I'm just gonna try to keep it under. I'm just gonna try to keep it at a 5/8 budget for this build. So, you know, let's just go ahead and just take a look at a couple of these. But you know, I would just go ahead and just kind of look for that baseline Coda. So I'm just gonna go to Gem here, and I'm gonna pull up Codas. Oh my gosh. Amazing. So let's just pull it up. So just pick off the floor. We'll just add it to the cart. I mean, it's already at 4.1 ETH, so by all means, there you go. Pick one that you like. I don't necessarily know if there are any particular benefits to any of the bodies, heads, or you know, anything related to that. I only kind of take a look at things in terms of like armor or maybe even like weapons. But I mean, seems like this one has armor, so maybe we'll choose that one over this one, right? Seems interesting. I don't know. I'm just gonna pick off aesthetic. I'm gonna pick off of the aesthetic. No, I'll just keep it relatively low. I'm being super indecisive on the video, but whatever. Not a big deal. But you know, after a Coda, you're gonna have to pick your land. So I'll just go ahead drop over to OtherGuide expanded, and just pick off the tier 1 land. You know, off the very bottom. You know, not a big deal. So I mean, initially, what I'm taking a look at here. I mean, oh, also, you're gonna want to keep an eye out for those the obelisk pieces. So I mean, if you do decide to try to get I guess the other 100,000 other deeds, you know, 1-to-1 ratio, then you know, try to get those obelisk pieces. So it filters out for all the filters out for these tier 1 lands. So I guess I should probably go with the theme of this video and redact it down to 1 or 2. So we can kind of see, hey, these are the floor price for the tier 1 lands. I mean, if you take a look at that's crazy. I mean, there's a tier 1 land here, and it's got, holy moly. So it's got all the obelisk pieces. It has a level 3 Runa, it has a tier 3 Runa, tier 2 Nether. So, I mean, by all means, if you can pick up a tier 1 with decent stats, by all means, you'll have more availability to do what you want. So, if you want to pick that up, by all means. Another one just dropped. Holy crap. Yo, this one has like 3 resources on it. 3 different resources. So, I mean, by all means, if you're looking to at least have more access, but I mean, this is kind of like people who are looking to play leaderboard only. But again, hey, I mean, I'm just going to add this to the cart. We're just going to take a look at our budget here. So currently it's about 4.46 ETH. I mean, that is $8,300. So not cheap by any means from a gaming perspective, but maybe from an NFT collector perspective, it's different. But currently we're at 4.1 plus 0.369. So again, this is just kind of that basic, tier 1 build. You have a Coda, you have tier 1 land, you have at least a chance at getting on the leaderboard. But if you do want to optimize a little bit more, you can opt for a vessel as well, whereby that vessel is an enchanter, right? Because enchanters will have the ability to, we have no idea yet. I kind of stumbled onto that without kind of knowing, but it makes logical sense that enchanters. Okay, I should probably show enchanters more. It makes sense that enchanters will either buff or heal or do some type of back end supplementary activity in the back end. So I mean, by all means, if we just add this, I mean, it's still going to be under that budget of about 5 ETH, right? So overall, this particular build takes advantage of full build Coda. Okay, maybe not full build Coda, but at least a Coda on a tier 1, with an enchanter to buff it, to play at that high level leaderboard position that you may want to play. And in addition, you'll also want to take a look at OtherGuide expandeds. You'll want to keep in mind of the obelisk pieces, and then also you'll want to keep in mind. There's a lot of things to keep in mind. These things. I would say there's a gajillion things to keep in mind, but you're just gonna want to know what your build is. You're gonna know what kind of you're gonna play the game. If there are any benefits to the land that you pick up, like resources or maybe even obelisk pieces. But again, if you do have a coda, do keep an eye out for those, benefits or airdrops or, other metaverses that are Yuga partnered, Yugaverse projects. But again, be safe when you're doing airdrops, stuff like that. Use Warm or Delegate, to keep your cold wallet safe, keep that buffer. But again, I know I kind of went on pretty long. I kind of went off topic here and there, but I do want to be comprehensive with my information that I have with regards to like building something good. So again, if you found anything in this video interesting or intriguing, definitely hit that like and subscribe button. It always helps me build more content out for the community and figure out what people want. So you can always find me in the Discords, the official Otherside Wiki Discord. Great place to find any information related to Otherside, and also the Otherside official Discord as well. But that's all I got for you today. So I'm gonna sign off. Again, none of this was financial advice. Do your own research and just have fun when you're out there looking for that perfect combination. But otherwise, I'll see you next time. Peace.